Okay, so Kyler will be out there today. Budda will be out there today. Excited to see those guys get out there and practice, and look forward to a good day prepping for Seattle.
How did Tyler take the news?
He gave me the news. He's excited.
You've talked a lot about having the plan in place now. Is this now just a question of seeing him on the field and how that plan works out in terms of when you might be comfortable having him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we'll take it day by day, see where both of those guys are at with relating to play, and, you know, just take it day by day.
Is that you've made it very clear that Kyler was going to tell you when he was ready to get back in practice. Is it still in his purview in terms of when he plays, or is that now more of a team thing?
That's an organizational decision, but he's a big part of that.
How much of an unknown is Kyler right now, just in terms of where he is? How curious are you to see what he looks like?
Very curious, but I know the work that he's put in. You know, the people that have helped him get to this point, you know, you can't praise enough. The whole medical staff, all that, the performance staff, the doctors, all that stuff. But, you know, he hasn't taken a snap in this offense either. So, you know, we got to see him do a lot of things, but I know he's excited to get out there and start playing some football.
How do you plan to split the reps between three guys?
We got a good plan. Yeah, they'll all be ready to go.
How much can he do you think, today?
Full go.
How's his running been?
Fantastic.
You mentioned the excuse me. You mentioned the performance staff,
Yeah.
And of course we see him when we go to practice, but it's almost like he and Buddy kind of.
Yeah.
You comment on Buddy and how instrumental.
Yeah, but Buddy has been instrumental. I mean, aside from being brilliant, he knows how to work with different athletes and knows what they're going through and when to push, when to pull off, when to be positive, when to, you know, crack the whip a little bit too. But like I said, that whole side, the medical performance staff, they've done a great job with him. And other guys as well. I mean, Budda, you know, the injury that he had going into week 2 there, to be able to practice today is a huge boost for our team, I think. And we'll take it day by day with Budda as well. But, you know, when those guys have major injuries, to be able to get back and practice to the level that we feel comfortable that they're safe and can go perform, it's guys doing their job at a high level.
With Budda, and then I don't know where Jalen Thompson might stand with his comeback, but I would assume that whenever those two guys get back, that's would be a pretty significant boost to this defense.
Yeah, 2 starters coming back into the rotation, that's a big boost for any unit.
Coach, do you sense that maybe the guys needed this sort of a lift this way, like an emotional lift? And
No, they're all about business, and we had good meetings on Monday, good meetings today. They're excited to get out there and practice, and got to put all our energy and effort and focus on doing the little things to beat Seattle in Seattle.
You've been mentioned many times how Kyler's been champing at the bit. When he was told, or he knew that this was going to be the day, what was his reaction?
Well, he told me, he says, I'm practicing today. And I said, great. See you out there.
What was your reaction on Coach?
Great. See you out there. Obviously, he's our franchise quarterback, so I was happy about it.
Josh's mindset, I'm sure, is not changing it one bit, but
Not at all.
now
He's going to go out and play real well versus Seattle. I know that.
What makes you say that?
The type of person he is and his response to what we all have to do as a team to improve to win some games.
When Kyler's at his best, what does he do to defensive coordinators? What scares them the
He's
most?
hard to defend because of his skill set.
What went behind the whole decision with Majay?
Best thing for the team, truthfully. Howard, that's all decisions with roster, you know, moving parts and all those things, but feel good about the guys that we have in that room, and best thing for the team.
Where is Jalen Thompson at, roughly?
Day by day.
Okay. Chance this week, maybe?
Day by day. What do you got, Tyler? Give me one.
How you feeling about the D-back series?
I don't know.
With Damian Williams, how does that work when you're working with a guy in a practice squad? I mean, do you look at those guys and say, hey, this is somebody who we want to eventually get to the active roster? Is it just depends?
It depends. You know, he does a good job, but you guys know how we structure practice. Yes, we do have some scout carded periods, but that's not the bulk of practice. The bulk of practice is running our stuff against each other, playing football and competing. So those guys, I know they appreciate that because they get their reps and we get to evaluate them. And so you always all those guys out there on the 53, on the practice squad, they got to be ready to play when their number's called. And I think they take well to that, honestly. So, and then you kind of see how the week goes, and you kind of divide up the reps, and you say, this guy played pretty well on Thursday, and he deserves to have a jersey on game day, and that's what we do.
Damian's journey in the NFL has been pretty interesting. He's been really high, scored a lot of big touchdowns in postseason games, won a Super Bowl. What does that do for a player who's moving on to a new team, a new chapter in his career? Is he armed with some sort of bank account because of that? Does that help him?
No, I think what impresses me about him, and that's why I said the look in his eye, I think the other day or whatever, you can tell he's played in some big-time games and has played well, and he wants to play in games, and he knows he can produce at a high level. And if he's in there, we need him to produce at a high level. So it's always good to have some guys that have a fire about them that they want to play football.
What does Keontae bring to this offense?
Elusiveness, power, does the right thing, doesn't turn it over, good ball security, and can hit home runs.
What's the next step in Keytrail's progression?
Consistency on a day-to-day basis. You know, there's, and I think that with consistency of practice and in games, consistency of technique in games, then comes production. So kind of one day at a time with him, and he's doing a good job.
Do you see him moving, I guess, diving more into the game plans and things just after these past couple of games and what the opposition has done with the secondary?
No, I mean, you after games, you kind of look what worked, what didn't, how they attacked us, different things going into the game. But our guys know, like, certain calls, there's stress and strength of each call and where those stresses and strengths are, and you got to be able to do your job at a high level for success of the offense, defense, or special team. So they all know how they fit into that, and they know that the responsibility that goes into that.
What's your thoughts on another big challenge for the defense against Seattle's offensive personnel? Yeah,
they got skill guys. They got a really good back. Quarterback plays at a high level. They're tied for the league, and they don't turn the ball over. That's a credit to Pete and his staff. They talk about the ball all the time, and that's a winning stat, and they do it really well. So we got to challenge that part of their game.